Hi everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and today we are going to start, which is probably going to be a very long project, of tackling my 4 Alex drawer units. So I'm going to give you just a really quick flip through, and then I'll talk about what's going through my mind, and we'll go from there. So this top drawer, I have supplies to make traveler's notebooks. I have so many traveler's notebooks, I do not need to make any. So I need to deal with that. This is kind of mixed media and molds, you know, just random stuff, and mediums. This is a lot of Reset Girl printables. I have no idea what's in there. This is washi tape that coordinates with it, and some deli sheets for doing prints. This is old books, mixed media stuff, tissue, substrates, you name it. More mixed media stuff. Primarily for jelly printing. I've got stamps, homemade stamps, some texture stuff, who knows, stuff in bags. And this is kind of like supplies, you know, like coffee filters for holding stuff, rubber bands, paper plates, you know, all that good stuff. Then I've got my regular distress. I've got my distress oxides, and I love this setup for the most part. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works pretty good. The only problem is that Tim Holtz is coming out with new colors, and I know that I'm going to need them. It's just a given. So I am going to have to deal with that. This has got like buttons and trinkets and stuff like that. This is my brad and sequin drawer. I've shown this one before. This is my experiment in trying to use foam core tape to create dividers in here. I'm liking it. I need to just make things. I'm liking the direction I'm headed, but we do need to revamp this. And then the bottom one is all adhesives. Okay, let's go up to the other top. This is projects. To be honest, there's so many projects in here, I don't even know what I have anymore. This is also projects. No idea. More books to use for junk journaling. Not sure that this is the best use of that drawer. Almost empty drawer. Mixed media tools. This is texture paste, embossing powders, all that kind of stuff. Not all my embossing powders, just the ones that are in these containers. My ink cubes. More ink cubes and random ink pads that don't fit elsewhere. Tools. This is my dollar store or Daiso, what do you want to call it, budget crafting supplies. These are paints and more paints. So the way this was configured was back before my desk or my work surface was a standing desk, and so now I find that these are actually too low, and they're the ones that I access more often than these. So we are going to do a complete shift. And the first thing I'm going to tackle, I'm going to start easy because that's the way I roll, is I'm going to deal with the distress ink cubes. And I think I'm going to stack them. Well, not stack them. I'm going to line them more up and down as opposed to angled, and I think I'll be able to get more ink pads in. But if I do put them straight up and down, I can't use a shallow. I need to use these deeper ones. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull out these two drawers here and convert them to distress pads. And in my spring cleaning, you can see I didn't clean these, so we're going to clean them at the same time. Okay, let me pull this out. I'm just going to put the contents in bins and we'll start shifting this over and I'll show you the end results. Okay, so I did apply some shelf liner imperfectly. Yes, I give you little bubbles, but the important thing is I want that down just in case the ink pads do leak. They're not supposed to if you put them up on their side, but you know, things have been known to happen, and this way it just gives me a little bit of protection so that my drawer will not be stained if should that happen. Okay, let me move on. So I love the Alex drawer units. The only problem I have with them is that there's so much wasted space. Like, look at how much space back there that I can't really access. I don't want these to fall back there, so I did put a couple of these little boxes that I had just kept because in there, and then there was still enough room. So I added some wood blocks when I unmounted my stamps. I kept a few of these. I used to have these in the original drawer to brace them up, and this is how it's looking now. I just was using the existing foam core strips in there. I'm going to make new ones to go all the way out so that, here, I'll show you. I won't be able to get 2 ink pads here. I'm just shy, like literally just so close. So I'm going to cut these long enough, so just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to run another foam core strip this way, and then if I have to put ink pads this way, I can, but I've got enough here for, let me see, how many more do I have? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 13. So I won't need that anytime soon. You'll see that there's some of them don't have labels on them. They're the newer ones. I just haven't gotten around to it. And you'll also notice that all the labels are backwards. That's because when I labeled these way back in the day, I had them oriented this way. And I don't want to orient them this way now, I don't think, because I like having, well, I might switch them. Right now I just don't want that to push against the front because it'll transfer ink, but if I put another foam core strip there, maybe that'll be okay. So that might change. We'll see. So I'm liking this. I'm going to do the second one for the oxides, and then I'll decide how much further I'm going to take it at this point. Okay, so here is my regular distress. I am putting the back row at an angle that way because there's not enough pressure coming from it this way. I'm concerned that the lids might loosen. These ones should all be fine because they're pressed up tight enough. I still don't know how to measure. Not exactly flush, but it's good enough. I figure I can fit 3 more ink pads this way and 4 this way, so that would be another dozen. Plus what I have here. So almost 2 dozen extra ink pads I can get in here from what I had before. Okay. And this is the oxide pad. I don't have foam applicators on behind these, which is why it's spaced out a little bit different. And that may change at some point in the future, but for now I don't have any on there. Did a little better on the measuring, so that lined up a little better this time, except for that one. And I will probably use this for something else in the meantime, like makeup sponges or applicator refills or something. I'm not sure yet. We'll get to that when we get to it. Meanwhile, all the stuff or all the contents that were in this drawer I have in bins. I'm not going to put them in the empty drawers because, well, I don't know if that's where that's going to go. So stay tuned until next time to find out what else I'm going to work on with these units. Thanks everyone for joining me today, and until next time, happy organizing.